Hey, good morning, everybody. We're going to wait about 3 more minutes to let everybody in. Still have 4 more guys need to get on. So 3 more minutes. Thank you. Okay. So we have 9. That's fine. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Thanks, Joe. All right, good morning. This meeting is basically, it has two purposes today. So, guys, keep this in mind as we go through all of what we're going to talk about today. The first thing we want to do is, well, 3 things, 3. Let me write them down. We're going to follow an agenda. Once we meet our agenda, we're done. 1, Mason Martin, personal goal, MEPA goals. 2, recap phase 1 of our journey. Move on to phase 2, accountability. 3, this is the third thing. I spoke to King Yermy last night. Revisit our meeting frequency. Once a week or once every 2 weeks. Jeremiah, anything you want to add to this at a high level before we start? King, Ray, Yermy, Yahoo, Yermy, Yahoo. Anything you want to add to this before we start? I take that as a no. So I have no, need for anyone to say start, Malcolm. So I'm going to start now. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. Guys, there's 66 books in the Bible. 66 written for our example. The Catholic Church, they have 72 books instead of 66. One of the books that they have that the Bible doesn't have is called The Gospel of Barnabas. But just so you guys, can understand it, we're using the Bible at this point as kind of a roadmap for what we're doing. And in the book of Judges, which came after the original chosen people of God, all the way back in Exodus, was freed from slavery. But it took them 40 years to free their minds and actually inhabit the land that they were chosen to walk in. And once they got into that land, they started going through a cycle of basically what Black people are going through now in this country, which is when things are good, we forget God. And when things are bad, we cry out to him. Right now, at least, at this moment, we have a Democratic president and people are under the impression that things are quote unquote good for us, and they're not. So God is sending judges to reckon with the people of this country. And that is part of what our movement MEPA is about. And because of that, we're not allowed or able to just have anyone in the group. We're not allowed to just have people be in the group just because, right? We have to actually trim down our numbers from this huge number that we start with, who knows how many, to 1%. Our visionary, Marcus Martin, if you ever heard his story, he has mentored over 600 men. So if you take 1% of that number, that's 6%, 6 people. Think about that. A man's been walking with men his whole life. I'm talking about longer than like Mason's even been born. Just to find 6 people. Now as he, is into his 60s now, the 6th decade, he's in a little bit of a rush and saying, hey, it's time. And that's where we are, guys. And what it boils down to is God has requirements for this group, and he defined an exercise for us to go through to trim the numbers down. In the Gideon story, there were 33,000 men, 33,000. And God said, whoever's afraid, tell them go home. Here we are right here. So 22,000 men left. 22,000. Over 2/4 of them was afraid. Doesn't mean they didn't fight. They ended up fighting, but not the first war. They fought later. It says in the story. So that's another thing we need to establish as MEPA is that we're not turning people away. It's just about who's going to go into this first wave of the battle. But then after he trimmed those, 10,000 remained. He trimmed 9,700 more guys, and it ended up being only 300. And our core group is 300 men worldwide, 12 out of Atlanta. 300 men worldwide. Now, as far as the timing goes, Jeremiah and Marcus are working on the timing, but it's sooner than later. I know I've been here around for 3 years. It won't be 3 more years to find the 12. It's as early as this year. Now, only thing I want to bring up today before we start is after Gideon fought and won, they had a period where they won the war and they were in charge. And once they got where they wanted to go and needed to go, they went back to their old ways. And so God had to send more judges. Jephthah, Ephraim, Samson. Samson took up the whole rest of the, I know y'all heard of him. He was the last judge. What we want to try to do this time is not be totally like Gideon. We just want to do what he did in battle. We don't want to rule like he ruled. We're out of time, guys. For our race of people, for America as a whole, we're out of time. America has turned its heart away from God towards materialism. So, I just want to make sure we make this clear now that we're going into accountability. We're not really dealing with material wealth. Obviously, we're businessmen and we use wealth for a purpose. But one of the main challenges of people that live 100 years is, where is their heart at? Do they want material wealth, or do they want to do something mighty with their lives? And I believe our group is called to something mighty. This exercise that we're in is nothing more than what God did with those men at that water, how he filtered them out. In 2022, the filter is, do you keep your own promise? Not now, this is at the first level. So remember, it was 33,000, then it went down to 10,000. The first level is, do you keep your own promise? Then there's a level beyond that. We're not there yet. We're just talking about a man gets on, he says, this is what my goal is. This is what I'm going to do for myself. Do you keep your own promise? What we're going to do is go through these today. And, if your goal was too ambitious or it was too small, you have a chance in this next round to revise it and shift your goal. It just boils down to whether or not you keep your promise. That is the filter for this year. We'll discuss what it means to keep a promise and not keep it. What happens if you don't keep it? What's the implication? But at the end of the day, like, you either are going to keep it or not. Okay. Before we get into accountability, we have one more person, a young guy that should wake us all up. I think he's 21 or 22, something like that. So one thing I told Marcus, even though he's in rush mode, I said, I've been a part of 3 movements. Everywhere I go, the numbers come. We ain't got to worry about the numbers coming. What we have to be concerned about is, when they get here, who are we? Y'all, I just took Rodney off of the, and actually, let me add this to the agenda. And once we accomplish these things, we'll get off. Little boy, mental health. So, are we meeting every week? Now that it's May, and we fulfilled our goal, we met every week. We celebrated at the end of April at IHOP. TJ was there, Joe was there, Marcus was there, Jay was there, Jeremiah was there, I was there, half the group. Are we going back to meeting every 2 weeks or once a week? We're going to discuss that. But without further ado, let's welcome our youngest king, Mason, to present his personal goals and his MEPA goals. You got the floor, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me on. As far as my personal goal for this year, I would say it's 250K in sales revenue for Amazon. That's probably my personal goal. I had been doing shoes and a lot of other things for the past couple of years, and I kind of want to move into another industry. And Amazon is easy to kind of scan things and start learning the process. But there's a learning curve, obviously, but it's the next step I want to get into. And as far as my MEPA goal would be to introduce side hustles or like side sources of income to each member of the group. Whatever suits them the best or whatever they have time for. It could be an extra source of income wherever it fits their schedule.
Okay, that was very short and sweet. Thank you, Mason. So let me share here. We're gonna dig into it.
Okay.
Welcome, Marlon. Welcome, Darren. We're up to 10. So we're only missing. Here he is, Jeremiah jumping in with his other phone. Now we're missing one guy. Hold on, guys. Who are we missing? Hold on 1 second, Mason.
No problem.
Because, we'll go over the SOPs again, but, accountability is made. Everyone is required to attend a meeting a month. If we go down to 2 meetings a month, which Marcus is saying that's what we should do, that means, you have to attend one of those 2 meetings to be in the group. This is, just SOP, standard operating procedures. But let me see who's missing from the, real quick. It is Jacoby. Jacoby, everyone is on except, hey, Marcus, you know where Jacoby's at? Does anybody know where Jacoby is? No. All right, guys. I remember I said there's a first filter. Filter 1. Do we keep our own promises? Filter 2. This is the second filter. Are we our brother's keepers? Gideon, 300 men. Each man held his position. That sounds like a big, there you go, bro. That sounds like a big thing, but honestly, when I read it, it's 3 men. There's 3 men, not 300. There's you, the person on your right, and the person on your left. That's what you got. So it's 300, but I got to keep my position. And for me to believe this thing gonna work, I'm looking at the dude on my right and how he doing, and I'm looking at the dude on my left and how he doing. First thing is, I hate to look and the dude that took off running. That means he was afraid. We definitely got to, make sure we don't have that going on. So again, are we our brother's keeper? That's what some of these goals have to do with. I'm looking right here at this thing here with Darren and TJ. Collaboration. We got into that with the last meeting 2 weeks ago. Darren had some goal here. We're going to go over this today, dealing with fraternities. And TJ, I guess, said they would collaborate, something like that. We'll get to that. All right, Mason, your personal goal is $250,000 revenue with Amazon. That is amazing. So can you dive more into how a company like Amazon that does consignment and only pays a percentage would actually allow you to get that much money? How much do you have to sell to get that?
It really depends on the product that you're selling. Amazon has 2 ways of, the person selling on the platform. It's either you sell the item, you kind of list the item up on their platform and you ship it out yourself, or you ship all the product to their warehouse and they deal with it and they handle the inventory, the customer service and everything like that. And they can offer Prime 2-day shipping on your inventory.
Which one garners the most return? For you to keep your own inventory or for them to keep it?
That's a good question. It really depends on what you're selling, because if you're selling a high volume item that people, customers want to get to their doorstep a lot quicker, then you're going to want to do FBA, which is shipping all the items to their warehouse and let them handle it, because you can raise your prices because you can offer that 2-day Prime shipping, and you'll usually get the buy box on Amazon on whatever product it is, as long as you're selling consistently.
Are you on your computer?
Yes.
All right, man. Again, I'm sorry, but you have the most ambitious revenue goal of all of us. Can you share your screen?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, hold on.
I'm not too proud to be one of your first people to try something that could make me even $50,000 in extra income.
One second.
While Mason pull it up, think about it. Guys in the 1800s, they went west to find gold. They got all this land. Now they got these crops. It's 40 years later. They older. They got all these crops, but they can't go out and pick them. So they got to find a young person to do that. This guy has a new idea that I've never heard of. Go ahead, Mason. Show us what you're doing.
Is this, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of the Amazon Seller Central dashboard, essentially. And so if you go to inventory, you can see some of the items that I've been selling.
Now, I'm sorry, let's go slow here because this is good. Inventory, that can be anything that I want it to be, right?
Right. On Amazon, you can pretty much sell anything.
It's just about what price you're offering it for and making sure you net a margin, right?
Right. And also has to be, in demand and, make sure that people are buying it, because if it's just some random item lying around that doesn't have any volume, then it's probably going to take a long time to sell.
Gotcha. So this is kind of like eBay, but there's no bidding, no haggling, right? You accept the price or you don't.
Right. I mean, sellers are competing and kind of not undercutting, but making their own prices, and the price kind of fluctuates based on demand and the market price, but it's not like a bidding war or anything like that. No.
I understand. Awesome job, man. So Jeff Bezos, the second richest man in the world, he started Amazon by going to his garage and he saw all these books he wasn't reading. And he wanted to sell them, but he didn't want to use the bookstore. So he built a website to sell them. But the reason why he's the richest man in the world is not because he sold his own books. He created a way for everybody to sell books. Then he made it so you can sell whatever you want to sell. So, what I hear Mason saying here is we're all grown men. I'm sure we got stuff in our house that young people trying to find a house, trying to find somewhere to live, which is very tough right now with this inflation, might want to put in their house. That's what I'm getting from this, at least for me on the short term. But Mason, let me tell you what holds up older people from doing stuff like this. How easy is it to set this up? It looks hard.
How easy? It's.
How did you get registered? How did you start adding items, naming prices? How easy is that?
Well, you do have to go through like a verification process. Amazon is kind of stringent, not very stringent, but they want to make sure there's no bots, selling on their platform, or any foul practice going on. So when you sign up, you do have to do like a virtual meeting with like an Amazon employee, and they kind of just want to see your face and make sure you're a real person. But besides that, when it comes to, listing up items or finding what items, you pretty much, there's an Amazon app that you kind of just have to use, and it'll scan the barcode on any item that you have, and it'll pull it up instantly, and it'll show you the price.
How do you add barcodes to your items?
I mean, the items that you sell are going to be items that have brands. So like you see like a graphics card right here that I would sell, it would have a barcode on the package itself. So you just kind of scan that and it pops up the market price and the market value, and you just list it from there.
Yeah. So let me make sure I understand this line item of the graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one, a gaming one.
Yes.
8 gigs, it could be more, but it looks like Amazon, if I'm reading this correct, they make $84 and you're selling it for $1,049.
Essentially, yes.
So once Amazon gets their money, you get the rest?
Yes. Payouts are not every week. They're kind of like monthly when it comes to paying out your money. But it also depends on kind of like what you bought the item for, right? So on some items, margins are slimmer. On other items, margins are higher. So if you look here was an item I sold for like $2,225, but I bought it for like $2,000, right? So I made about $150. It wasn't that big of margins. Obviously, I'm getting a lot of money back, but the margins is really what counts. And if you go
Right.
down, sorry.
So good. So Amazon, even though they only got 186 for that, they didn't have to do the work of buying and selling it. They just get their piece, 186.
Right. All they have to do is just allow you to sell on their platform, and they get their piece to buy.
It's their platform. Thank you, sir. Okay. Anybody? I'm sorry. I'm monopolizing this. This is a platform here that we will probably use, guys, if for nothing else, to do MEPA merchandise. But does anybody have any questions or comments for Mason on his personal goal? 250K revenue. You first, Jeremy.
I got a question. Mason, how much money have you made in 1 month, if you don't mind telling us?
What's the most amount of money I've made in 1 month?
Yeah.
Yes.
Off of Amazon?
Yes.
10K.
$10,000 in 1 month. That's good, man. Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
Any questions or comments for Mason?
Yeah. So, Mason, it's good to see you on here again, and welcome you publicly to the team. My question to you is, that revenue. Are you talking? Is that annual? Is that what that is? 250K.
250K.
Or
Sorry, go ahead.
is it tier? No, I was asking, is it 250K by the end of this year? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Got you. Okay. So in order for you to hit that number, what do you have to hit every month?
250K to about 12.
20,000.
About 20,000. About 20,000.
Yeah.
So you pretty much are the highest amount that you've made based on Coach's question. You said it's 10, so you would have to double that every month consistently in order to hit that number by the end of the year.
Yes. But the sales revenue is different from the profit that I said earlier, because
Right, we're talking revenue. So are you able? He's saying 20K of revenue, not margins, because your goal says 250K revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 20,000. What's the most revenue you've ever done in a month?
30K.
30.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that,
30.
Jeremiah?
Okay, I got you. I hear that.
His margin was
Okay.
10. His highest margin is 10. His highest revenue is 30.
Got you. Okay. All right. So then, it was something I was going to ask. Oh man. Okay. So your net is 30. Is that correct?
No, that's
Or
his
am I-
revenue. That's his revenue.
Okay, that's his revenue. Okay,
The
got you.
The margin is the net, and the net is the most the net has been is 10, but his goal is a revenue goal, not a net goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got you. All right. So this now this is what I mean. I'm saying for everybody across the board though, because we talked about this, and I'm just throwing this out there because this is we're talking about these goals, and when we talk about the goals, we talk like I'm thinking, and I said this before. Well, I'm thinking, what is a SMART goal? So SMART as in the acronym, and I'm not sure if you familiar with it, but is pretty much specific. Like this is how we measure every goal that we are setting. So the SMART as in SMART is S being specific, which you are, Mason. You're specific as far as what your goal is. Is it measurable? That's the question that I'm asking. What your margin is. Well, Malcolm is asking about your margin, how much you're making per month, and then is it attainable? You know, that is a coach standard part. That A in SMART, attainable. Because if it's not attainable, then we're lying. That's the part that we're challenging each other on. You know, so you got specific, measurable, you have attainable, and then the T is, oh no, it's the R. Is it relevant? If relevant does not fit the you know, fit what your goal is, whether it matters or not, if it's relevant, is it realistic? You know, that's the uniting between attainable and realistic. You see what I'm saying? That those two combinations let you know, okay, can I attain it, and is it realistic? And then the last thing is time. You know, like how much time, when is the deadline? You know, and that's what we're talking about at the end of the year. So I'm just throwing that out for everybody, because we, you know, right now, as of today, you're the last one. Like, you literally put a cap on it for the whole for the year so far. So I'm just throwing that out there, and I'm saying it because your presentation, what you just gave, is an example of a SMART goal. You know, so I'm putting it out there because a lot of our goals it can easily be arbitrary and not specific and not, you know, detailed. So I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you, Mason.
All right,
Welcome.
Mason, your MEPA goal. And to me, this is able to be implemented quickly. You said multiple streams of income, introduce multiple streams of income to your brothers, basically. And you've done that already through this, but what is a tangible thing around this that you want to, you see how you said with this one, it's a dollar amount, a number?
Right,
what does it mean to you tangibly, this MEPA goal? What's the goal?
You know, there are a lot of things nowadays you can do, either on the side or part-time, you can make money off of, a lot particularly online. And so depending on, you know, how much time a person has, or each one of you has, you know, a certain source of income can cater to you. And those certain things could be, you know, shoes, as I've been doing for a while, you know, flipping things, taking surveys. I mean, we could also do NFTs too, but it's a bit complicated to get into.
Yeah, that NFT,
Yeah, it's a bit
You have
complicated.
one?
I do have a lot of NFTs.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know how much your NFT will sell for, but how much did you invest in?
How much have I invested? Like 8K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I heard about I think it was some rapper NFT. He spent $1 million on his NFT.
Snoop Dogg?
Was that who it was?
There are a lot of
so.
rappers on NFTs nowadays, but yeah.
All right, because I like NFT. Again, let's start with that. What is an NFT, Mason?
NFT stands for non-fungible token. I mean, I don't really know what it means, honestly, but I do know what an NFT is. And there's certain aspects of NFTs that didn't make sense to me at first. It's just kind of, it's selling digital artwork and digital assets, you know, with utility.
Like would you think to say it's like, again, I'm going to try to help with it because from what I understand, it's like buying a painting, but your painting that you built is yours. You built an NFT. You sell it, somebody else can buy it. They might think it's worth even more, then they sell it for more. Is that kind of what it is, like an asset?
Essentially, yes. That's a good explanation.
Okay. So to me, you know, let's open our minds up, man. But we should all have NFTs. The question is, how much would we invest in getting one made? What is your NFT, Mason?
Well, the main thing with NFTs, sorry, I'm trying to focus the camera. You don't really, unless you really want to invest a lot of money, you don't really make your own NFTs. You usually buy somebody else's collection or invest into somebody else's collection, and before you know it gains traction and sells for higher, so you can flip it for a profit. Or
I hear you.
Mhm.
Again, this is the implication of what you're saying, you know, and this happened with Bitcoin. Green dollar cash money is gotten really old. So now people are creating new ways or new forms of money.
Mhm.
One of those examples is this NFT. Another one is the Bitcoin. Something outside of the green cash dollar that most of us, Mason, are familiar with, that's considered to be worth something, like almost like gold or silver.
Mhm.
That's what NFT is, because you bought it or you invested in it, and you're saying, how is its value determined, and what makes it go up and down?
So particularly with NFTs, it's more of like a crypto thing, to where like kind of comparing to the cash dollar, but with NFTs, what determines whether it goes up or down kind of is the community around it, or the utility that it has. Utility pertains to like what it brings back to you. You know what I'm saying? And so there's this one NFT called the Bored Ape. I'm sure you've probably seen it before.
Hold on, I haven't. I'm sorry, I'm an older guy, man. Spell it.
Okay. Bored Ape. So bored.
Ape.
Yeah, that one right there. The second one.
Yacht Club.
Yes. It's a bit goofy looking. I know, but it's worth a lot.
Explain it.
So this is probably one of the biggest NFT collections. You know, you're not gonna have a lot of NFTs that go for this much. As you can see, there are 10,000 items in the collection. There's 6.3 thousand people holding those items, and the floor price, which is like how much it's worth right now in the market, is 103 Ethereum. So that means you take 103 Ethereum and you multiply it by the value of Ethereum right now, and you get the value for one of those NFTs.
Right. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, though.
Yes, sorry.
So this doesn't have a cash value, it has a crypto value.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. All right, God. Thank you, Mason, again. So one of the things I see is
Hey,
introducing
now,
us.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Hey, Mason,
Yes, sir.
with opening that, your Amazon business, do you have to, how much money does it take you to invest into these items, or are you spending any of your personal money for those items?
Good question. Good question. It's more recommended to kind of leverage credit for your advantage for buying those items, because when you want to make a lot of revenue, you have to buy a lot of items, and then your money is going to be on hold from Amazon and things like that. So it's better to leverage credit, right? So it's a good question. I see what you're thinking. But I haven't really leveraged credit like that. I kind of just buy my things, sell them out, and get my money back when I can. But I do need to make better of leveraging credit and making those loans so that I can continue to buy items and keep money flowing. So yeah, it's a better way of selling on Amazon.
Wow.
Okay. So you do have you have so you pretty much a person, but you don't have you do not have what's the word? Inventory. You don't have inventory. They don't ever come to you, right? You're just pretty much paying for it and then reselling it, and everything is happening online. That's correct.
that would be more of a drop shipping model.
Okay.
Right, but I do buy my inventory and I kind of just keep it where I can, and then I either ship it out in bulk to Amazon to where they handle it, and so I don't have to touch it
Okay.
anymore, or I just
Okay.
ship it out myself. If it depends on the product, really.
I
All right.
got you. That's the reason why you said with the shoes. I got you.
I want, man.
All right, I'm good. I'm
Can
good,
I ask a
Malcolm. I'm good.
question?
I see y'all.
Hey, I got a question.
Frosty got questions.
Yeah, I got a
Frosty,
question too.
yeah, Frosty, you
I-
did. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Frosty.
Go ahead, David.
Okay. Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself to Mason because I haven't reached out. When I saw you come through the thread as a member, I want to ask you something in reference to MEPA. It's going to be, it's just MEPA, pertaining to MEPA. First of all, have you received any information from MEPA? And have you read the mission statement, the vision, and the things from MEPA? Have you received that information? Are we there yet?
Have I viewed the website? Have I viewed the mission statement? Is what you're asking?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I've personally read, honestly, the exact mission statement. I've kind of just, not that I say I understand what this brotherhood is, but I do probably need to read the exact mission statement.
Okay. And the reason why is because I wanted to ask you the question, and you don't have to answer this question. Where do you see yourself fitting into this organization, and what can this organization, how can this organization help you, and what can you do to contribute to this organization? I wanted to, that was my initial call to you, to formally introduce who I am, and how brotherhood should work and how it's written to work for us as brothers. And so I will get your number and reach out to you. And I commend everything that you're doing in your personal goals in your life, man. I really, you really got me motivated because this new age technology is something that I've been behind with. And so thank you for your time. And I'll be in touch with you, TJ.
Thank you.
Hey, who have actually reached out to Mason since he's become a member? Like have called him. I mean, you may have called him, may have not been able to reach him, but you actually took the initiative to call Mason. Has anybody done that on this call?
Nope, but I put my number in the inbox, so I haven't reached out to him physically.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't reached out to him. I need to do that.
So you mean tell me that we have a new member on MEPA and like nobody reached out to this man?
I mean, everybody's a part of it, right? So nobody. That's sad.
Mason, I called you
what,
yesterday.
guys?
I will say that I did call you yesterday because of that very reason, because I didn't know if anybody did reach out to you or not, and I didn't inquire. You were just in my heart for the past 3 days, and yesterday I was like, man, I have to call him, and I did end up calling, in the evening. I'm not sure if you got my call. I'm the 470 number.
Right. I did get your voicemail. I wanted to say that, on the call that I did get your call, and I heard it, and I heard your voicemail and everything. I was at the gym for a long time, and I was, hooping and playing basketball. So I just want to let you know face to face that I did get your call. I was gonna get to it, but I just wanted to get all the questions.
No, listen, you were good, man.
Put him in his place, Mason. He'll be all right.
You were good, man. You were good. I just wanted to make sure that I do my part, because I can't hold anybody else accountable if I'm not doing my part. So that's
Right.
the reason why I asked that question, just in case. And I'm just saying, because that is a major problem with MEPA right now. We already are not calling each other. I mean, we know each other, we're not calling each other. And then we have new
Mm.
members coming in, and then we're not even calling a new member. We have a serious problem. We have a
Mhm.
major problem. I
Hey,
know
there
we
was
all have our own individual lives, but I'm just saying, I hate to interrupt this broadcast with this, but like that's not cool at all. Like I'm so serious right now. That's not
Well,
cool at all because
Hey,
I mean we
Jeremiah,
don't know what we're all
Not
going
a
through.
good model. It won't be successful.
hey, Jeremiah, one of the things that, I normally would ask is I thought the same thing, right? But I didn't act on it. So literally, there's no excuse. It's just the intentions. Are we never intentional? Are we busy and it slips our mind? And if it didn't happen, then why didn't it happen? And I can only
hey,
He
you
went out.
He muted himself on accident.
Wow.
just put it off. Oh, I'll call it in something else, but I just put it off. But now I'm thinking intention.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this. Talk is cheap. Here we go. You better talk to me, nephew, because I'm coming out there now. You know what? I made a suggestion about a week ago. It's obvious that it hasn't been either addressed or it hasn't been put in place or whatever. But one of the things about bringing structure to where we are as a corporation, one of my suggestions is having a person that's called membership services. And what membership services is making sure that we communicate with everybody, keeping them informed, sending out texts, remembering the birthdays, anniversaries, and all those type of stuff. So
Yes.
when people come into MEPA, we'll know that we have that one person who will get their information, and also asking that person, do you mind sharing, do you mind if we make your information public with the other brothers? And so we can talk about what we not doing, but if we don't put something in place, then all we'll do is talk. And let me share what procrastination is. Procrastination, the definition of procrastination is the long way around to disobedience. The long way around to disobedience. And so one of the things I find with my employees, and the reason why I'm successful with my employees, I take care of them. They don't like me someday, but I take care. So now that we know we got a problem, we've been talking about who wants to volunteer or what are we going to, who's want to, I don't care. Who's going to volunteer to be over our membership services? That's what I want to know. Because I don't like talking about stuff. We always, and first of all, I didn't raise my hand, but I talk to Mason frequently because I just talked to him. He crazy, I'm crazy. And so, but what I'm saying is, what we're going to do, we need to make a decision right now. Membership service. And then, so we don't have to ever have this conversation again.
I'll take accountability.
I can't hear you.
That was Frosty.
I would take accountability. I'll
Okay.
step up. But my thing about the matter is when I'm not there to step up because of my job, I'm not trying to make that sound like that I'm just bluffing. There's somebody there to back me up.
Well, here's the thing. Let me share this with you. First of all, saying that you want to volunteer for this, you need to know what the expectations are, which means it needs to be put in writing. Also, it also means that if taking on this responsibility, it means that you need to be able to take it to the next level. Anytime somebody gives a great leader, let me tell you what makes a great leader. A great leader knows how to delegate. A great leader knows how great leader knows how to give it to people, and hopefully you get that assignment, you take it to the next level. So if that's something you're interested in, I will personally take the time to write it out to you and show you that it's more, because Malcolm is doing 1,000 things. Malcolm sent out it's a whole lot. So let's talk about it offline. But I appreciate you stepping up to the bar. And I say this, and I'm not being mean, guys. At one time, outside of the Zoom, I was doing this all by myself. So it takes organization and manage your time in order to do it. And it don't take a lot of time. So moving forward, this is the resolve. When we come on these calls, we need to be looking, when we're listening, we need to look for resolve. What is the resolve? Because this is the resolve that's been going on for the past year.
Right. You know what? Let's do this for the rest of this Zoom, just to drive this home. Before anybody says anything, even if you speak more than once, start with who you are and whether or not you call Mason this week. I'm Malcolm. I did not call Mason this week.
Well, can I share something, Malcolm? The fact is that nobody said they called. They don't have to say it. I just like saying I went to the bathroom and then I leave out and it smelled like you did. So I'm just saying we don't even have to ask that because nobody have.
Excuse me, Coach. May I interrupt you, Mr. Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to. I'll be more than glad to work with Frosty on that. But what I would need, and I'll be glad to assist it as a roster, because I never got a roster and stuff of all the brothers. If I start there, I'll be more than glad to do my part to help with that also.
I
Darren,
appreciate
thank
that.
you, Frosty. What I'll do is I will get with both of you all. We will get that roster sent to you. We will get the numbers, because we do have the numbers, and we're gonna make this thing work, because everything is about time right now. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
I got it. Thank you, Marcus. And those, I got a question for Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I can't.
I'm sorry, I gotta do it, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I got to overrule Marcus today. Did you call Mason?
Are you talking to me?
Whoever it is speaking.
We just said no.
This is TJ. This is TJ. This is how we got on this subject. We got on this subject because I said to him personally, I did not call him.
Oh, TJ. All right, got you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See, I'm driving through Alabama, so I may be in mountains or whatever. But hey, Jeremiah, I do have a question. You gave me an acronym for a team that you're working with, right? Could you tell us about that team and the function of the team that you're working with within the group?
Are you talking about MEPA's leadership team? You talking about
Yes.
core leadership team?
Yes.
So
Could you
okay.
tell me about? Could you explain it to us and tell us the purpose of the team, and so that we know if that's something that y'all already working on, then that should be said. Like if that's a part of that team or whatever, then we need to know that.
I totally get your question. First of all, before I even say that, what I was going to say is what Darren just mentioned just now. King Darren just said that since he's been with MEPA, he has not received a roster of the members that are on the team now. And when he said that, that's another red flag for me, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that he hadn't received that. So my thing is, these is like literally this isn't it's an educational thing for me right now. So as we learning this, I'm collecting data so that this team that you're talking about, CLT, the core leadership team, will get together and put together, making sure that everybody receives it. Just like Mason, he's on the team. The first thing Mason should have received was him putting on the group text. Thanks to Malcolm, is always doing what he's supposed to. That did happen, but yet the other part that we found out today is that we didn't call him. Then the next thing that he's supposed to get is a roster with everybody on there, numbers, emails. You know what I'm saying? So that he knows. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm matching. Oh, this is this person and this is that person. You know, and that's what, to answer your question, that's what the team is for. And another thing that I want to make clear, and I did talk to you about this, TJ. I said to you that what CLT is really, we're talking about the title, Chief Operating Officer. I'm Chief Operating Officer, but we're talking about the operations. It's a group of individuals that work together towards the operation. And that's what I'm saying. These are all missing pieces to operations. Like these are the things that have to be established outside of the code of ethics, the SOPs, and and all the other documents, 501c3, putting the team together, to be out in the community and all of that kind of stuff. Like that's what the team is doing, TJ, just letting you know, to tighten up on those areas. And I will say this because the team already know. I'm not about, everybody is my brother, you know what I'm saying, and my friends and all of that. But that has nothing to do with the vision and the mission, the direction that MEPA is going. So my thing is this: if individuals that are in the bus are not, or rather are in the engine and are not spinning to the motion of the vision and the mission, then we're going to have to remove these part of the mission, these pieces, to put the right pieces in there so that we can flow, effectively. So I'm just saying the same thing I said earlier. We have I don't know what to call it, a rule, regulation, I don't know, but we put a standard in place where we can keep all of that in motion. So we are, like I told Coach, we are in the foundational position. And I know Coach don't care about all of that. Coach is like, listen, we've been doing this for so long, we need to just get it done. So I hope that answers your question, TJ, and whoever else has a question about that.
Jeremiah, it would help
Yes,
us
sir.
to know. I think the bigger question is, people want to know who's on that team.
Oh, I thought everybody already know who's on the team.
Okay, hold up,
No.
Darren.
I could, huh?
Hold up. I'm gonna help you.
Okay.
Darren. Okay.
Give him a second. Darren,
Okay.
come off.
He's driving.
Oh, no, okay, I got it. Okay, I'm off.
Darren,
No, I
do
do
you
not know
do
if
you
you're
do you
gonna ask me.
know Darren? Do you know who's on the leadership team?
You finna ask me? No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Marlon. He sent me a text.
Okay,
Marlon is on.
Marcus. I
Yes.
do remember him going over, but I don't know the names, so I really couldn't tell you if I had to.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. Again, we got something in place. Frosty and Darren, we got something in place. By Wednesday, you both will have a list with numbers. When you get the list by Wednesday, we will come together and have a conversation. You will have a detailed description of what that role really means. And so we won't ever have this conversation again, because time is of urgency. So can you introduce your team, Jeremiah?
Yes, sir. Okay, so everyone knows King J. Yes, everybody know King J. King J is part of the team. King Joe is part of the team. Everybody know Joe. And Travis is part of the team. And last but not least, King Malcolm is part of that team.
Okay, let me ask you this. And what is each, and it might be a premature question, what is each one of those persons' role in that team?
Right now, Joe and Jay have been taking care of the admin work that we were supposed to do last year. So all that is coming into closure. Is already done basically. So all of that is coming to closure. As in, go ahead.
And see, we don't want to take anything for granted today. So when you say admin, what is the admin?
Admin is that I'm talking, when I say admin, I'm talking about the administrative documentation that we were supposed to do.
The documents.
What documents?
I'm about to.
The code of ethics.
Okay, the code of ethics was already done last year, and the SOPs was already done last year. So, it is something that
it's the administration of documents, meaning they were done, but they needed to be revised. They needed to be converted to Word. So those documents are living, and they have to stay current. So they brought them back current.
Well, can I get a copy of that today, of where those documents and the today? Can you email me to me today so I can look and see what kind of changes have been made?
All right, send final version of SOPs and code of ethics to Marcus. I got you. We got that.
Okay, with that being said, so what is Travis' role?
Oh, okay. So Travis and
Travis.
Travis actually assists Malcolm.
Yes.
With So Travis' recent role was to he's.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so Travis is pretty much Malcolm's Robin.
Okay.
So Travis assists, Travis assists Malcolm. So basically, whatever assignment that we've given, that I have issued, I put 2 people on the job. That's pretty much what we're doing. I mean, just in general, just giving you and just in general. Okay. So when it comes to the paperwork, I have Joe and Jay on that. When it comes to on the flip side with Malcolm and all the responsibilities that he has, Travis assists him with that.
Okay, so what would help us is that when we have these calls, is that we need updates on what's going on with this team, for accountability purposes, because it doesn't make no sense to have a car with no engine. And so it'll help everybody to know and all be transparent, so we'll know for purpose of accountability. We have already taken on one of the things about this membership services, because I believe it's important, and I believe it's not a rocket science. Now, Mason came on here. I listened to him, but all I know, he got inventory behind him and he making money. That's all I need to know. He broke it down. I'm still lost. That's all I know. So I can see what's behind him. I can see that he made $10,000. He said, that's what I'm interested in. So now, as many of you might be interested in what he's doing and what he brings to the table, we need to know what is going on with this team, because there's a level of accountability that everybody have with one another. Also, one of the things that team is not going to have to be concerned about is what Darren and Frosty is going to be doing. I would have liked to see the team come up with this. However, there's an urgency. We are a corporation now. And so we have to move forward, just like everybody hold me accountable, I got to hold everybody else accountable. And here's the thing, what I have been hearing for me is that people need to hear me hold people accountable. That's my word. So with that being said, when we come on, we need to know what's going on. So there won't be no ifs, buts, and ands about it.
Gotcha. All right, let me share. Because you made some statements here. I want to recap here. Core leadership team. Again, once we get through this agenda, these 4 things here, Marcus, this one's you here. We'll end the call today. Joe and Jay, administration of documents. Right? We have a to-do item of send final version of S. I'm going to do that because the code of ethics has some grammatical issues. I'm going to fix those. Communication in Zoom, Travis and Malcolm. Member services, Frosty and Darren. We don't even have enough people to even talk about this community liaison, but I want to bring that up today because in order for the vision of MEPA to succeed, these 4 things are needed. Administration of documents, communication, which we're using Zoom, member services, and community liaison. What is community liaison, Marcus?
That is the person that get us in the community. That is the person that, hey, we'll be going to support Stacey Abrams. There's going to be a news thing down at the Capitol. Somebody going with MEPA or myself or somebody else will have on our MEPA t-shirts. And we'll be right there behind her so we could be seen. And every time something happens, they're going to see, what is that E? What is that E? Because it's time for us to get ourselves out there. That is something, those 2 things need to happen immediately. Immediately.
I agree. I'm actually volunteering for that one. I'm saying I'm not going to be the main person. I'll back somebody up in that because that's part of what my personal MEPA goal is, deals with the community. Okay.
So is that something that you want to handle, Jeremiah? Is that something that your team that can happen? Because you said that we have administrated, unless we're gonna write a volume of books, I don't think it's gonna take the rest of the year. So tell me your thought on how can we get this done like immediately?
All right, so from what I'm hearing, Malcolm said that he'll back whoever the lead person will be. So that I would need to find out who that lead person will be, so that we can get that bus moving.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I can say that it definitely is not going to be a person who don't communicate with folks. It's definitely not going to be them, because
nothing personal, just business.
It's definitely not going to be that person. Can I just put myself out there? If you're interested in operating in that role, please call Jeremiah today. We're not going to get anything done. You got to put dates and deadlines. This is administrative. Dates and deadline, because people do what you expect, not what you expect. I cannot stress that enough, guys. And I didn't talk to several of you. There's an urgency. We're in an urgency. And so I need an answer by Wednesday. Wednesday is the hump day. I need an answer. So that's all I need. And if I don't have an answer by Wednesday, what I'll do is I'll just talk to a few people. Even if we have to reach on the outside to get it done. It needs to be done, and it needs to be done by Wednesday. So we got deadline. Yes.
Can you give me a restate what that role consists of?
That role consists of somebody who's, first of all, who's connected with the community some kind of way. It is that person that connect MEPA with like organization. Like, for example, Katie Bowes have this men fellowship. It's always on the radio. I used to go to it about before COVID. That person would connect us with those type of organizations. That person would listen for events and say, I think MEPA need to be a part of this. That person will say, you know, this person is over here doing such and such a project, and I think we need to go over there and help feed the hungry and wear our MEPA shirts and organize the event, give us all the facts, tell us what our goals and objectives are. You only have to be out there 30 minutes, what time the event is. That person coordinate MEPA getting out in the community and being seen. Also, it goes before that person knows how to do press release. When we're getting ready to do something great, that person knows how to go and do press release. Let's say, well, the MEPA Summit, we can do a press release. We can do an interview on Channel 5 that I may not go, somebody else might can go and talk about channel, what we're doing with the summit or what we're doing. Because what is valuable for this position, when we do our grant, they're gonna wanna know who we have collaborated with. If you don't collaborate, you're not gonna get no grant money. So all this is being set up for the next in MEPA. And again, it'll be detailed, wrote out. It'll tell, you know, how to do it, what the expectations are. We ain't no longer just gonna be the kind of group that you heard what I said and you know, no, it's gonna be in black and white. If it ain't in black and white, it ain't law. Does that kind of help you somewhat formulate in your mind what that role is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
Thank
You
you.
got it now. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
We'll get
I
started.
got one
Matt.
quick question. Who do you go to if you want to order some more sets of shirts?
That's a good question. That's something else. Jeremiah, can you handle that?
Can we
I
somehow
certainly
do
will.
it through this thing Mason does with that? Like, it should be easy, not something that's hard to do.
Well, that's why y'all gonna figure it out.
I'm able to order a MEPA shirt from Mason on Amazon.
Figure it out. Have an answer by Wednesday.
We should be able to have that on our website.
Hey, Malcolm, could you do me a favor since your Robin is not with you? Can you take down because you always do take notes down, but I do need that. I'm not able to do it as we're speaking, but if you can just write down these itemized items
I got
that
it.
we need to that we need to hit on, and then
Yeah.
we'll keep it rolling.
All right, let's actually, guys, I agree. It's 10:16. We got a lot to cover today, but let's get back to the screen here. Core leadership team, Joe and Jay administration of documents. Basically, we're finalizing something that, you know, we was given a year ago, but it is getting done today. Communication /Zoom, Travis and Malcolm. I got to give Travis more of that and start backing him up. Member services, Frosty and Darren. Community liaison, to be determined, and Malcolm. How do we buy MEPA shirts? Website and or Amazon. Jay brought up the website. Even if the website sends it to Amazon, it needs to be a seamless order, not something somebody has to drive somewhere and go, you know, pick up shirts. Like, all right. Here's the second item so we can get this meeting done. Recap phase 1 of our journey. Move on to phase 2, accountability. So in phase 1, this is what I mean by recap, guys. Sorry. And I'm going to go over this now. We're going all the way down. We started with 2 questions. What do I really need to accomplish? Who do I have to become to get there? We're going to remind you of this at the end of the year. We started this in January, guys. MEPA question. What will you do in MEPA that wasn't done last year? How to get MEPA to a different playing field? I'm going to go down the list and go fast. Marcus, accessory shop for men, requires better time management, people management. Jay, for his name brand to inspire positive change thoughts, keep being and improve on who he is. It says, what is the venture with MEPA Brothers? 7 streams of income. Wholesale property purchases. End of this year, it will unfold itself. New business venture. What is your brand of business? Finance, ownership, working with the mind, not the hands. MEPA goal, outreach, recruit 20 quality men. Joe, mentor, COO, developing others, stay on course. 1, setting up businesses to produce and maintain themselves. Set up business accounts, payroll, manpower, communication, manpower, capital goal, which again, this says 8,000 a month net. That is the margin. Do what I'm doing right now, commitment, reaching out to everyone once a week. TJ, completing educational studies, create residual income, spend more time with family, 4 sons and 1 girl, seek out mentorship, man of integrity, disciplined character. Then something here says adults that are angry. Tangibles, finish in May. It is May. TJ is scheduled to finish school this month. Create residual income. 25,000 a month, personal financial goal. Spending time, son, dealing with maturity issues. I'm gonna read all of this. Learn to not be overbearing with physicality. 24, 22, 21, absence, lack of communication, no relationship. Can't look for them to reach out to me. Connection with fathers and others in MEPA. Wife, in terms of his priority list. She's down on the she's a priority, but not above these other things. And 6, MEPA, commitment. MEPA, 12 good men. CLT, 3, trust the process. All right, that was verbose. John Stevens, Frosty. Let me so you guys know who's on the team. This is the roster. Frosty. Growing relationships with brothers, finishing the house, entrepreneurship, time management. OTR takes a lot of his time. He's saying that up front. Travis, coming out of the shadows, leadership roles, real estate, self-confidence, better time management. Jeremiah, scale his business, learn a new language, Spanish, get proper sleep, learn to rest, decompress, rise early, time management. Malcolm, public goal, run for public office, deputize enlightened citizens, MEPA goal, commercial pamphlet, leaflet, delegation. MEPA goal, elevate the summit. You know, that's the event we do every year. Jacoby, who is not on today, but he's on the roster. Jacoby Martin. Prosperity, dedication, time, people management. Prosperity, aggressive growth, stepping on toes. He needs to make that more tangible. Make more money in the first 4 months, which are now over. April ended last week, then all of last year. MEPA goal. He started with what he did last year, 501c3, and he got that done. Now he wants to raise $250,000 to help low-income people get computers, which that's something that he was told to partner with Save Our Sons. Darren, educator. Wow, this is a lot, Darren. Continue to be an asset to the community. Increase networking influence. The mayor goes to his church. Maximize your influence via a relationship with a particular person. Identify a mentoring program to partner with by July, which is 2 months away. Darren's an older guy. He's not geriatric yet, but he is in his 60s. Physical fitness, quality of life, exercise, stay active, improve exercise, be consistent, walk 4 miles a day, twice a week, up to 4 days a week of walking by September. Darren.
Yes, sir.
How many days a week did you walk 4 miles this week?
The last 2 weeks I did 3 days.
All right, 3 days a week. MEPA, mentoring program implemented in local municipalities via his fraternity. Darren is in fraternities, and that is a huge network. So he's going to expose MEPA to fraternities. Create an approach, name brand, MEPA. Author a document to present his passion for mentoring teenage boys. TJ said he was interested. That's a collaboration. Mason, personal goal is $250,000 in revenue with Amazon, something called FBA. MEPA, introduce multiple streams of income. One such example is NFTs, which is a non-fundable token based in cryptocurrency. Filter one, do we keep our own promise to your own MEPA goal? Are you doing your own goal? This is not something somebody gave you to do. This is what you said you were going to do. And the second filter is, are you your brother's keeper? Gideon, 300 men, each man held his position. But it boils down to you, the person on your right and the person on your left. Jeremiah said, we go out 2 by 2. So good, we're getting some structure. It's May 7th. We about halfway through the year. That was the second piece of our agenda today. Any questions or comments? All right.
I just want to make sure that the question that was asked me was answered and I didn't pontificate. Just let me know if I didn't answer the question.
All right, we're almost done then, guys.
I guess not. Then I think after TJ, Frosty was supposed to be speaking.
All right, go ahead, Frosty.
What am I supposed to be speaking about?
Remember?
Yeah. I got it. But I mean, y'all put the icing on the cake when I'm talking about that we don't reach out to one another. And after he made his speech today, that's what I was going to say. Yo, brother, I need your number. But y'all done already put the icing on the cake. So that just kind of went left field. But what I want to say is, so when a brother reach out to another brother and call him, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. What is the best duty of that? Because when a brother say he's going to call you back and then he don't, then you try to call him back, he send you the same text message, I hit you back later. I mean, what's the purpose of it? So I just need some help from you guys. What is one supposed to do then?
Well, you know what I say? This is where I'm at. Sometimes if somebody don't call me back, that means they don't want to talk to me. I mean, it's real simple. And you know what? You only want to make time for people that make time for you. And they could be busy, and I understand that. But I don't think.
But say that instead of just saying, I'm going to call you back. I mean, at least give somebody an option or automative.
Well,
my biggest thing though, King Marcus, is that us as brother, we're supposed to be together as a whole as kings. So when one reach out, we're supposed to be there. See, I was always taught that if somebody don't reach out to you, then what are you supposed to do next? But we together as a whole, as a family, should it have to prolong that far?
well, no.
If a person is determined enough, they will do anything, whether it's good or it's bad.
Well, if ye be without sin, let him cast the first stone. But with that being said, that being said, let me just say this to you. This membership services is going to help to bring resolve to a lot of that, I believe, with you and Darren working together. We're looking for resolve. I'm glad that you stated that. But remember, this is going to bring all of this to bring resolve. There's some people I talk to more than others. Don't mean I don't like them. It just means that it is what it is, as it relates to where we are with our relationship, but it's all right. But what you're going to do and what Darren is going to do is going to really help that tremendously. So we'll talk about that offline.
All right.
Can I say something, Frosty? I would just say this, man. What we all have to remember is MEPA is a voluntary support group, and we got to keep that in mind, or have a little tougher skin. I understand if you're persistent, you're trying to reach someone, they don't get back with you. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you after a certain amount of times, whatever. But my thing is that we have enough people in our group to where if you can't reach one person, you should be able to reach some other people who are of equal or even better quality as far as listening or whatever you may need from them. But also keep in mind that, you know, at its core, you know, which has been reminded over the last year several times, MEPA is a voluntary support group. Yeah, we want to be there for everybody at every time, but the strength in numbers is I guess my overall point would be, you can't reach one brother, you know, reach out to somebody else. You know, you can
But I just
and
look at the status, Jay. I don't mean to cut you off, and we supposed to be still hooked on this portion as a family, as a team. You know, then why be a part of something if you're gonna half-ass stuff? I'm sorry for cussing. You either in it or you either out. You know, and that's how I feel.
Let me ask this, Frosty and Jay. You know, I ain't mean to cut in between. I don't know if you finished what you were saying, Jay, but like right now, all of this is arbitrary to me because it's in the air. So I believe that you're speaking to a specific thing. So, Frosty, who is it that you called? There's not.
No, I'm not pointing out names. I won't do that. That's not right.
You know what I'm saying?
For...
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm not trying to start anything. The reason why I'm doing that, there's a reason behind it. There's a reason. Because there was one time that somebody was trying to reach me. I can't even remember who it was. And for some reason, they didn't, like literally on my phone, it don't show no evidence that they tried to reach me. If my phone was
called messages and it's called text messages. Think about it. There's other alibis. If you call, it don't go through. I do understand the possibility of being disconnected and it don't go through for it. But it's called, if you're a king, it's called leaving a voicemail or a text. Hey, brother, call, checking on you. Give me a call when you can.
Right, and I'm speaking specifically to a thing because I didn't get like this actually happened to me, and that's the reason why I throw it out there. I didn't know that they were trying to reach me until Coach reached out to me and said, "Hey, somebody's trying to reach you." I was like, "Oh," and then I called them. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that I go with the benefit of the doubt. I understand, you know, I get what you're saying, and I'm not by any means dumbing down the standard or the what word am I, like, you know what I'm saying, to say, you know, I'm not trying to dumb down anything, right? I'm just saying, you know, there is to a certain extent some kind of you know, because like my situation personally was a real misunderstanding with a technical issue, which has happened before, and it's not intentional that I was trying to avoid that person, but it came off that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I just want to just, you know, that's the reason why I said that, you know, that accountability reason and for understanding reason, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want this to be a thing where, you know, we're talking about a real issue, but still we're all being held accountable, right? Which we're supposed to, but yet the individual that's supposed to be held accountable is not really, don't even get the message because they don't even know that they're being reached out to. You know what I'm saying? So, and if it's a situation where you did send a text message, then there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? And if a person did tell you that they should call you back, they need to be held accountable to it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're just big facts. Don't lighten up, tighten up. You feel me?
Hey, y'all wasting time. You need to go ahead and say who it is to where they can recognize they need to make a new move. That's it.
No, whoa. What we're doing is we're building a process that isn't personal. It operates off of standard operating procedures. We said this year is a year of making promises and keeping them. This is a year-long thing. At the end of the year, everyone's going to be clear on where everyone is at. So there's no names to say yet. We're in the middle of that exercise. In the midst of that, vision has been proclaimed of we need to build our organization, which again, we are a voluntary support group. we're also an organization that if SOPs are not followed, you will be put on the sidelines. And it won't be what's the word? Personal. It will be like, these are the SOP. Did you do them? No, you didn't. We have to grow this thing. So, you can be a guest and, get on the phone and stuff, but other people are going to be talking now.
I like that, Malcolm.
Well, Malcolm, I really do appreciate that, but I'm the person that's going to speak out from what I feel and how I see things. So how can you build when we have half steppers? See,
that's what I'm saying. We need to know where are these half steppers at?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So it's time to separate the boys to men.
That's what. Okay, so I see you don't want to put it out there, and I get it. So I'm gonna call you on a personal, and I'm gonna talk about.
I'm still not gonna put it out there, but I'm putting it out from what I've seen.
And all I'm gonna add to it, Frosty, is there was 300 men fighting, right? But there was.
But please call me.
Them other 22,000. Them other 22,000. When them guys got to run it, they came out and helped. So even if somebody ain't in the core 300, that don't mean you don't need them.
Right,
just
Frosty.
Not going into the main battle.
Hey, Frosty, I hear you, and I respect your feelings.
Jay, I was gonna say I'm interrupting you for a reason. Darren had his hand up just now.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's a moot point for him to call a name right now. It's been brought to the forefront. We're going to have put a process in place and let's move forward. Now, if it happened again, then we need to go back. And then I think you should be able to divulge your name or contact that person. But right now, I think it'll be a moot point, and I think it'll do more harm than good if we call a name. So I think we need to just move forward.
Thank you. That's my backup man right there. Y'all see that?
Absolutely, because here's the thing. Here's the thing that we have to take under consideration, guys. Different ones have different challenges that we're getting healed in certain areas. So just because I don't give a rat's behind whether I talk to people or certain people as much. It may matter that some people do, and I believe that we have to be not punks, but sensitive to our brothers who are in motion or being healed in certain areas, because that's a part of it too. So that's very wise, Darren. We're not here. Sometimes we need to do one-on-one before we do groups of that, because we don't, and here's the thing, guys, I want to say this, and I'm gonna be real blunt. We got a young guy on here who's smart, and we're setting examples even before him. Now, I know he's a great guy, because my brother is great. He comes from a good start. So don't think he's not listening to some of this stuff, because he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's a young guy, but he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. So we have to keep in mind, not that we shouldn't be transparent, but we got somebody young who's watching, and we can, and so we be tripping like a hoe, $1.29 hoe, and that with no change back. And so we need to be, let's keep that in mind, guys, really. So believe me, I'm gonna call him and ask him what you think, because that's what I did the last time. What you think? And he gonna give me one of his analytical answers. But he got an opinion now. Believe me, anybody who's making $250,000 a year and just 21, and somebody's 65 and ain't doing that, he got an opinion. So we got some different dynamics going on around here. Ain't nothing personal, but we got somebody watching for real. So
Marcus,
that's all I
I
got.
didn't want to get off, but we got to cover these last two, and they're short. Revisit our meeting frequency once a week or once every 2 weeks, guys. Jeremiah.
2 weeks.
Yes. You're asking you asking me to give my input on that, correct?
Yes.
I'm okay with 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, like we had it originally.
Okay. Little boy health, mental health, Marcus, and we're done.
We've already done it. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All
Right.
We had a,
guys,
we had a class this morning and everybody we done it.
okay. On our group thread, I'm still looking for everyone's email. Marlon, thank you for coming today. Anything you want to share? We haven't heard from you in a while, bro. How's it going up there in DC, Fredericksburg? Marlon.
Marlon was in an accident, so I don't know. He was in a car accident.
Is he
So,
okay?
well, he's better.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
All
God.
right, Marlon, prayers up, bro. Thank you all. Mason, appreciate your presentation and elevating the whole group today. And we're going to start following up with accountability in 2 weeks, May 21st. And we're going to, let me show this. Let me show the order. It's not the same order that we started with. Leaders first. Marcus first. Jeremiah, Malcolm, Jay, Joe, TJ. I'm sorry. Hold on, Melina, hold on. Not yet, hold on. This is it, guys. Okay. Marcus, Jeremiah, Malcolm, Jay, Joe, Travis, TJ, John, Jacoby, Darren, Mason, Marlon. 11 guys. Anybody else have anything? See you guys on the 21st.